Ray Dalio makes dire predictions for 2023. Ray Dalio is one of the leading experts on the financial markets, with billions of dollars in his portfolio and decades of experience. When he makes predictions, people listen. Furthermore, there are only a few who have a better understanding of the financial markets than Ray Dalio. His dire predictions of what is coming are cause for concern. People are going to lose their livelihoods, and their businesses are going to fail. There are going to be individuals struggling to put food on the table. According to Ray Dalio, it's going to get really bad. Dalio is more than just a well-off investor or hedge fund manager. He is a futurist with a keen insight into the economic landscape. He advises what types of risks one should consider and how they are part of the investment process, with some history behind them. It's important to pay attention to Dalio's predictions and take specific actions to protect your finances. Allow me to welcome you to another video of Finance Sense. We cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. In this video, we'll talk about how Ray Dalio makes his predictions from a historical perspective and learn the best ways to weather impending storms. So, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to our channel, and turn on the notification bell to keep posted. With that being said, let's start. The majority of us are going to be put through a level of brutality that we have never experienced before. And unfortunately, no one is going to come to our aid and save us from this impending economic storm. The historical trends can be recognized as the root causes of the problem. Because many of these occurrences only take place once in a person's lifetime, it is critical to reflect on the past and analyze how these events develop throughout the years. Dalio asserts that there is a recurrent pattern, and that in order to have any clue how to address it, it is essential to have a solid understanding of the mechanical underpinnings of this pattern. A significant quantity of debt was accumulated during the boom years, which led to a crisis in the economy that lasted from 1929 to 1932. After that, in 1932, interest rates reached their all-time low of 0. During these phases, the nation's central bank would print a large amount of new money, which would then be used to purchase government bonds. The government is purchasing them in order to restore the lender's ability to generate cash flow, given they were the ones who first provided the funds. No one, not even the government, has the ability to print new money on demand. As a result, the power to determine whether or not to impose taxes, collect revenues, or spend money on any program or initiative the central government desires is squarely within its purview. In contrast to the central bank, however, they do not have the authority to issue money or offer credit to consumers. The Federal Reserve is the primary banking institution in the United States. In a similar fashion, the Federal Reserve should not be granted the authority to spend money or make decisions on how that money should be spent. Instead, such authority should rest solely with Congress. Each person, business, and every government receives a certain amount of money each year, and each has fixed costs and expenses, as well as savings. Therefore, it operates in the same manner for everyone. They will run into problems if their income drops below their expenses, unless they have a substantial emergency fund. Meanwhile, there are a significant number of companies in this predicament throughout the U.S. In this case, the U.S. government has to issue financial aid. As a result, they print money in a sense that they create it digitally and then lending it out to people. Meanwhile, the Fed will purchase both government and private bonds. They might choose several businesses and purchase bonds, which is equal to lending money. Indeed, this trend may be traced throughout history. In other words, we are currently seeing the same pattern that happened between 1930 and 1945. But what does this mean for an ordinary citizen? The average person probably has no idea what a 401k is or does not even have one. Where do we go from here then? Before we move on to the next part of this video, I just want to ask all of you guys what your opinions on Ray Dalio's dire predictions. Do you think he's right? Or are you having second thoughts on what he is saying? If you have something that you can share to the public, then do let us know in the comments section below so that we can keep the ball rolling. And with that, let's proceed to watch the video. Everyone and every business are affected in the same way. According to Ray Dalio, you need to take into account the following 3 aspects of your life in order to be successful. First, your income. Second, your expenses. And third, your savings. After that, you should do a stress test. As you go through the stress test and you think about what would happen if you lost your job or your income went below a certain level, you may reach the conclusion that you need to apply for unemployment insurance. Consider how much longer you are able to keep up a decent quality of living. Have you put away a sufficient amount of money? Then proceed to do the math in order to determine how many more months or years you would be able to live if you changed your way of life and made do with the money that you already have. But which nations or eras have successfully dealt with this type of crisis? The many approaches that President Roosevelt took serve as an example. From 1929 until 1932, interest rates were at 0, prompting the central bank to print money. At the same time, there was a major disparity in terms of financial resources. But then they worked out how to maintain order, adapt to new conditions, and restructure the system so that it could function effectively. In terms of finances, Dalio believes that having a plan, especially with your family and education, are 2 of the most important things to consider. But how much of a role does education have in ensuring the security of the future generations? Dalio believes that education is of utmost significance, and he places a strong emphasis on the necessity of not just obtaining fundamental skills such as reading, writing, and mathematics, but also developing soft skills, such as empathy and social skills. Maintaining a courteous demeanor at all times is required in order to fulfill one's responsibilities as a decent citizen. However, he also believes that it is extremely important for your work to be aligned with your passions in a way that is also financially beneficial to you. Getting a decent education does not mean going to college or university. It could take any form, such as learning to trade or something else altogether. And for Dalio, knowing how to triangulate well to deal with whatever challenges that you are going to encounter and how to work it through to discover the road and discover your nature is one of the things that people can do from a historical viewpoint that will most protect them from the undoubtedly emotional and maybe financial damage as the next 3 to 5 years phase of the cycle strikes humanity. Hi! It looks like you've reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching this far. Please subscribe, give a like if you enjoyed it, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. See you around!